What's going on, Boston Celtics fans? Welcome into Celtics Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and there is no ball game today. We are actually going live for the Boston Celtics Victory Parade, where all the duck boats, all the players, all the coaches will be taking the streets of downtown Boston to celebrate with you guys, the fans. But unfortunately, Smitty and I are in Dallas, Texas. And if you guys looked at flights recently, they're extremely expensive. So Smitty and I are like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go live on Celtics Today. Let's party with the people that can't be in Boston, just like Tyler Smith and I. And let's celebrate like we are actually in Boston, Massachusetts, celebrating with the team as they are taking their victory lap that is well deserved. But also on this show, we want to talk about a couple of topics as well. We want to hear from you guys and your thoughts on the upcoming NBA draft. We're going to have a draft mailbag. So any questions you guys have about future Boston Celtics players, go ahead and drop that down below using hashtag Celtics. And then we're going to talk about two current players on the Boston Celtics roster, Jayson Tatum and Derrick White. And will they get a bigger payday in the next week, month, or ahead of the NBA regular season? We're going to break that down here as well. So we're going to be giving you guys a live look at the parade, breaking down pictures, talking about what we're seeing, having a couple of drinks. You know, Felicia made an appearance here as well. So we're going to be celebrating with you guys. And then towards the end of the show, we're going to be breaking down a couple of topics we want to discuss with you guys. Let's go ahead and get right into it, shall we? If you love the Boston Celtics, go ahead and spam your shams. I got almost 100 people in the stream right now, and guess what? It is 10 a.m. in Texas on this Friday, and I'm walking around the office with a flamingo, and Mitchell Wren's Raiders Report host goes, "Big day?" It's a big day. If you know, you know. It is a big day because the Boston Celtics and the city of Boston has waited 16 long years to take this parade. They have had to watch Tom Brady do it numerous times with the New England Patriots, and now they finally get to do it. Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, Holiday, Horford, White, Joe Mazzulla. It's going to be one to remember. I see that there are some Celtics legends also there as well. You got Paul Pierce in attendance. They're right now in TD Garden. They're having a good time, putting up a couple of shots, which is pretty funny, actual tequila shots, and then also some basketball shots. They're walking around. I saw Kristaps Porzingis wearing a WWE championship belt. Jaylen Brown's wearing the t-shirt saying, "State your source." Jayson Tatum is actually wearing a picture of him with drunk goggles on. So I think everybody here is in the spirit to get drunk, to have a good time, to celebrate a phenomenal record-setting type of season. And I know that's why you guys are here as well. I'm having some issues with my live stream right now. I can't see him. Oh, there we go. I couldn't find all the comments for a second. It just kept giving me a duck saying something is wrong, which is kind of ironic because there are several duck boats on my screen right now. All right, I got 60 people in this stream right now, 25 likes. I got a ton of people spamming their shams. Ed Robbins in the chat. I got Muad, Hassa, and all of them are telling me hit that like button, telling you guys hit that like button. Javon and Erica Glasgow are here. Rob Version saying, yeah, ESPN doesn't care about the parade. Guess what? We do. We do here at Chat Sports. And it's even better because everybody's working right now in the Chat Sports office, but we're close enough that they can hear us. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeffrey Cooperstein and Harrison Graham, the hosts of Mavericks Today by Chat Sports, already put their headphones in because we're going to be screaming. We're going to be celebrating the parade they unfortunately wish they could have. Amanda Therese saying, "Hi, Allie." What's up, Amanda? Justin's in here. Justin Richardson's also in here. And we got Rob Version, John Edward Kruger, Xavier Curry, Javon, Ed Robbins, Muad. I got Derrick White YouTube, which can't be the real Derrick White because I see Derrick White on my screen right there. I got Grant Bart in here, Celtic Raider, who gave me a really nice tweet yesterday complimenting myself, complimenting Tyler Smith on what a tremendous job that we did this entire season. So thank you guys so much. Christopher Domingo's back in the chat saying, "What's up, Allie and Smitty?" Gavin Powell as well saying, "Hi, Allie." What's going on, Gavin? All right, I got a question here for you guys. I actually made it the poll, which I think is kind of fun. Who do you think is going to be the most turnt at the parade? You know, when you get the Patriots rolling around, it's probably going to be Gronk, right? And then you got Tom Brady, who got really into avocado tequila last time he won, but that was with the Buccaneers. So I'm really excited to see who you guys think out of this Boston Celtics team is going to be high on that duck boat, high on that double-decker bus, raising up trophies, getting the most drunk. Do you think there's going to be any guys that jump off the boat, they go and take some shotguns with some people, or they take some pictures with some people? I mean, I don't know. I heard some stories, man, that when Derrick White went to Colorado to visit Deion Sanders and the Colorado football team, he got absolutely hammered really early in the morning. So I could see Derrick White being a player that gets really, really drunk here. He got a new tooth. His tooth is all fixed, so he's ready to go. As you guys know, he chipped his tooth there in Game 5, diving on the floor for the basketball. So looks like I'm going to go with Derrick White here, but I could see Tatum really soaking this in, maybe even Brown, the MVP. I think it'd be really weird to see Porzingis drunk. I just think 7'3". I mean, I'm 5'7". When I get drunk, I walk like Bambi. So when I think of a 7'3" guy that's now drunk, I just think it would genuinely be like a guy on stilts, just really wobbly and stuff. So I think it'd be weird to see Porzingis drunk. Holiday maybe, but you got Holiday and Horford who are dads, man. I can't. Maybe this is their time where they want to let off some steam. Patrick Mahomes has done it a few times in the Chiefs parade. He's a father as well. So it'll be interesting to see if Holiday or Horford get the most turn. But I did see Horford came in. Two things. The whole family's there, which is just fantastic. Second, Al Horford is wearing a cowboy hat. Cowboy Horford is now officially in play, and that means summer has started. All right, Christopher Domingo saying Jayson Tatum. Justin Richardson saying, oh, thank you, John. He's not saying it. Man's said I just woke up. Yeah, same here. Rob Version saying, what are they going to say now? I got Mick in here saying Jayson Tatum. Ed Robin saying, did Allie say she needs a boot? I'll do a bong. I don't know if I have a headache, to be honest. You want to know why? Because apparently 3 Angry Orchard ciders gives 25-year-old Allie a headache. I hate growing up. Let me tell you that. Because I have never been more ashamed of myself in my entire life. So, I will do a flamingo. Give me the first hour, Ed Robbins, and I could possibly get a boot down. But I know there's a lot of people in that bullpen right now that could possibly put down a boot. So let me see what I can get going here. Gavin Powell saying Xavier Tillman's going to be the most drunk. Javon saying Derrick White is the most underrated here. Andrea saying Andrea here from Rome, Italy to watch the parade. Go Celtics, supporter since 1980. Congratulations to you, Amanda. I know you've been waiting a long time to see your Boston Celtics do this. My grandma's a huge Boston Celtic fan, which is ironic because she lives in Florida. And she's been texting me this entire time, and she's so excited for this. And she watched the parade back in 2008. So I know a lot of people have been waiting for this here. I got Tyreek saying since JB has a crazy shirt in his hand, he's got a state your source shirt on, which is what he said to Stephen A. Smith once Stephen A. Smith was saying some insane things that Jaylen Brown said and blah blah. Gavin Powell, do you see the Celtics making any trades this offseason? Well, we're actually going to have a mailbag here coming up at some point on this live. If you guys have any questions about the Boston Celtics offseason or the upcoming draft, which is actually next week, feel free to use hashtag Celtics in your comment, and we can put that on our mailbag as well. Celtic Raiders and Angry Orchard is fired. That was my first time that I've ever had it. I'm a Bold Rock girl. If you're from Virginia, you know what Bold Rock is all about. But Angry Orchard, that was the first time I had it, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the sugar did it to me. It was kind of like drinking a twisted tea. All right, let's go on ahead and get more likes going on here in this stream as well. I got 80 people watching right now. If you're glad the Boston Celtics won the NBA Finals, which I know every single one of you guys are, hit that like button for me. Let's get this likes up. The more times you like it, the more the stream gets pushed out into the jet stream of YouTube. More people join our Celtics parade party. So go on ahead, hit that thumbs up button for me if you guys are glad the Boston Celtics did win the NBA Finals. As of right now, one thing you guys are missing is that it's NBC Sports Boston. They're just kind of going through all the announcers and reporters that are on site right now. Nothing has officially started for the parade, even though it was already supposed to be underway at about 11 o'clock. So I think that's when the programming starts. You're not missing anything, but we're going to give you guys live updates with the pictures, what we're seeing, having some drinks with the guys, with you guys. If, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, it's Friday, it's been a long week of work, it's been a long week in life, and I'm excited to celebrate the Boston Celtics parade because it's actually the first time since 2013, a parade in Boston has been held on a Friday. So I'm really glad this was actually originally supposed to be on Tuesday if the Celtics won in 4 games, but they wanted to extend it just a little bit. They pushed it to 5, and then they actually went to Miami for the last couple of days. I'm here with a headache from 3 Angry Orchards. I can only imagine what these players are feeling. Al Horford was at a Raising Cane's yesterday in Boston. He met 1 million Boston Celtics fans. He didn't go down to Florida with the team. Joe Mazzulla didn't go down to Florida with the team, but I know there were a lot of guys that were out there. I saw Tatum out there, pictures of him, Brown out there as well. So, they're probably fighting a pretty mad bender right now, which is really the only Boston way to handle this. Ed Robbins saying, I don't think she needs help. I never seen anyone from Raiders Report get help with their boots. Allie, best way to cure hangover is to drink more. That's what sucks is that I don't want to call this a hangover. I have a headache. I cannot say 3 Angry Orchards gave me a hangover. I can't, right? That's the most bitch thing you've ever heard in your entire life. I was raised better than that. Jet Sports would be angry at me if I said I got a hangover from 3 Angry Orchards. So we're just calling it a headache. Don't worry. We're just calling it a headache. But I have heard that drinking does make it feel better. I got water. I got coffee, which I haven't even taken a sip of yet. And then I got Felicia. So maybe if I beer bong a water bong first and then just get all the hydration back in me, I'll be ready for a boot. Don't worry. Celtic Raider coming in here with a hashtag Celtics question for our mailbag coming up here later on that draft. So go on ahead, send in your questions. Smitty's going to put them to the side, and we're going to do our mailbag here towards a little bit in the middle of the show. We really have no timeline for this party, which is kind of great. I never like an end time to my parties. So we're going to talk about Jayson Tatum's contract extension, Derrick White's contract extension. We're going to talk about the draft as well, your questions from the draft, because, the Knicks channel here, the Heat channel, the Bulls, they've been done for a while. So they've gotten to really go through the ins and the outs of the NBA draft. But because we've been so accustomed to the NBA Finals coverage, Kristaps Porzingis injury coverage, that we haven't gotten to talk to you guys about the NBA draft, which is actually on Wednesday and Thursday, which we will be live for as well. So we haven't gotten to talk too much about it. So if you guys have any questions about the NBA draft, go on ahead, send them our way. Smitty is probably the most knowledgeable person I know when it comes to college basketball. I'm kind of trying to dip my toe back into the college basketball scene after spending the last 8 months with the NBA. So Smitty's got pretty much everything you guys need to know. We'll be tag teaming that. And he'll actually be informing me as well, because I'm starting to learn about these new players that could possibly play for the Boston Celtics. Allie G in the house. Allie G in the house. I was like, do you like gin? What do you mean turn? Turn means drunk. It means lit. Who's going to be the most hype? Who's going to have the most fun? Who's going to be the most crazy? So turn can mean a lot of things here, but I'm kind of going for who's going to be that menace today. You've seen Gronk be the menace. You've seen Travis Kelce. Klay Thompson has been known to stumble a few times into some fans. So who do you think is going to be the most drunk, if you will, at this Celtics parade? All right, I have a question for you guys here. Who was your favorite Boston Celtics player this year to watch, to enjoy, to see outside of the court, see on the court? I think mine, honestly, I have grown a newfound love for Derrick White. I've always loved Al Horford. I love the veteran presence that he brings. I love the Dominican father of 5 that Smitty has coined him as. So I think Derrick White, I just watched the Sam Adams commercial of Derrick White buying a duck boat, and I think he is just extremely adapted to the Boston culture, which I love. He was riding his duck boat, and he's like, this is the easiest way to get to the garden. And they've made so many commercials of him, learning how to be a Bostonian? To be a Bostonian, which I think, give this man his contract extension. I want him to retire here. I love Derrick White. I didn't realize how much I adored him until he shaved his head, and I'm like, bald-headed Derrick White is going to change lives. And he upped his play on the court. He's a defensive menace. He's now adapting to the Bostonian culture. I've loved watching Derrick White through and through, despite the stepbrothers that I got here on my shirt. It was a duo I didn't know I needed, Derrick White and Drew Holiday. So I'm really excited. I think Derrick White has a great future here in Boston, which we are going to talk about as I see Mike Gorman just completely downing a Bud Light on my TV, which is just what I needed on this Friday morning. I know you guys did too. I got 75 people watching in here, 56 likes. Thank you guys so much. All right, Christopher Domingo loving what Drew Holiday did this year. Jayson Tatum coming in from Modu? Yeah, you do what you can. Sarah Small saying Drew Holiday as well. Allie saying Derrick White's a real G. You're not wrong. I mean, look at Mike Gorman, man. He's got a T-shirt on and a backwards hat. That's wild. That is wild to see Mike Gorman in a backwards hat right now with a Bud Light in his hand, sitting down on a duck boat, because you got to think this is his retirement as well. Gorman doesn't have to go back to work next season, so he gets to enjoy this duck boat parade, riding along with this team, which he has given so much of his time and energy to. So it's almost like a little retirement ceremony for the great Mike as well. Amanda Teresa loving Derrick White so far. Celtic Raiders saying it's between Derrick and Tatum for me. I'm just a big Tatum fan. I think he's been so underrated until last couple of seasons. People underrated him. Ed Robinson, I have to say the coach team for putting a team and keeping the focus. Yeah, Joe Mazzulla. I told you guys a story that one of my buddies, he worked for the West Virginia basketball team when Mazzulla, long after Mazzulla was there, but he was like through and through. Mazzulla's a West Virginia guy. You know he's going to be great. You know he's going to do these things. And I remember talking to him in October before the season started, and I'm like, I don't know if Mazzulla's that guy. I don't know if he's got that in him. And he texted me the minute the Celtics won. He was like, I told you, Mazzulla's that guy. So you're not wrong. It's going to be really fun to watch this go on. So we got a couple of pictures here as well. That is the Celtics walking into the stadium, and they're repping their outfits. We got Derrick White with a brand new tooth, and we even have a good picture of Banner 18 that's actually going to be hung up later today. If you guys want to see Derrick White's new pearly whites, well, here you go. He's looking great. Got a bucket hat on, repping the Boston. He got the hardwood court there on the hat as well. And as you can see, he's fixing that pearly white there. Tatum walking in. He's got his drunk goggles on that says champ on the hat. You know, Tatum's repping his own face. I love it. I love this energy. And then you got Jaylen Brown in here as well saying to state your source, which is what he actually tweeted back at Stephen A. Smith after he decided to make a couple of accusations there. But now the duck boats are actually moving along here. Starting to see a couple of family members on these duck boats and what's going on. I see a lot of coolers as well. Al Horford, Cowboy Al is in attendance with his entire Horford family. As you guys know, the 38-year-old Dominican father of 5 doing what he can to be Father of the Year. As of right now, we haven't gotten to the player boats just yet. We're looking at all the team boats and the fan boats, but here is actually the Larry O'Brien trophy, which is going to be on one of these duck boats, believe it or not, with the actual players right now. And then this is actually Banner 18, which will be hung later today in TD Gardens. This is the actual Banner 18 that we have been waiting to see now on the back of a duck boat. I mean, it's just been incredible, a 16-year-long journey. Feel free, if you're on Twitter and you see any other pictures that are going on right now, I'll look as well. Just giving you guys kind of a live look at what we're seeing as well. You got the Boston Red Sox duck boat that's making their way. And here is a couple of players now. We got Jayson Tatum, who is going to be hoisting up the Larry O'Brien trophy. Not the MVP this year. Nope, it was actually Jaylen Brown. But it looks like Tatum is not actually in the same duck boat as a couple of the other players here. Looked like he was more so surrounded by family, which I don't know if you guys saw. LMA with a little baby bump after Game 5. I mean, that was crazy. That's not confirmed if that's Tatum's baby or not, but they've had an on and off relationship for a while. So I don't know. Maybe Deuce is getting a brother or sister. We'll have to wait and see. But Tatum looking like he's just rolling around with some family and friends here. He's starting to hype up the crowd here. Confetti is falling as Tatum is going to be the player to hoist Larry O'Brien in front of all these Boston Celtics fans. I mean, it's just incredible. I can't actually believe that they still have confetti left over. Did you see how much confetti was dropped in TD Garden when they won? I mean, it was pounds and pounds of confetti. And now we have Jaylen Brown, who's following in the duck boat behind Jayson Tatum, hoisting his NBA Finals MVP trophy, the Bill Russell trophy, in his boat. So we're seeing a little bit different here, which kind of makes sense because, the last parade I think of is the Chiefs parade. That's the NFL parade, where you have to put all these players in a boat together because there's, 80 players on a team. You take the practice squad and everything like that. Whereas the Boston Celtics, I guess you can pretty much have one player per boat with their people of choosing in the boat. So no Tatum and Brown together on a boat here. Just Brown hoisting up the the NBA Finals MVP trophy, which he also does have the Eastern Conference Finals trophy as well. And you got security walking in front of, behind, on the sides of the duck boats as well. I mean, fans are just absolutely loving this. And I heard there's a heat wave going on here in the East Coast as well. So for these fans to come out there and just hang out in this sun and in this heat, I mean, they really do love this team. But here's what we were really waiting for. Cowboy Al Horford riding in the same cart as his entire family, the 38-year-old Dominican father of 5, just winning Father of the Year here. The Cowboy hat, I wasn't expecting, man. I was not expecting. As Jayson Tatum hoists the Larry O'Brien trophy way above his head, showing everybody he passes right now on this path of the Boston Celtics parade. As we see Sam Hauser, who is rocking a cutoff. Ick. Not a fan. Not a fan, but you know what? He's probably trying to get that tan up because he is a little pale sometimes. Wow. I mean, the mayor is expecting 1 million people to be at this parade, which I would honestly call that an underestimate. This team, the city, has waited 16 years for this to happen again. I mean, this team is something special, too. They did it as a team. They've been very close-knit all season long. They've incorporated the city with them, as Drew Holiday will be the next player that we see here on the duck boat, and he's holding his youngest boy in his hands. I don't know if I see Lauren just yet, his wife, former U.S. women's national soccer player, but I see all of his kids there in attendance with him as well. He's rocking the dark green duck boat here. Oh, man. I love all the different types of duck boats. God, there is a shit ton of confetti being blasted. Oh, my God, they actually have a duck boat for confetti. That's why. I was like, good night. Where does this keep coming from? No, this is the duck boat that looks more like a tow truck that is just blasting confetti. I mean, this is going to take... I can go to Boston in 2 years and find a piece of confetti on the street. That's how much there is. You got Paul Pierce on his own duck boat, who's hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy from 2008. I mean, if that's not a G move, I don't know what is. Paul Pierce coming back 16 years later saying, you know what, I did this once, I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to bring my trophy this time. I mean, he's enjoying it. He is enjoying it. Smith, you got any comments here on what you're watching? I mean, this is 16 years you've been waiting for this, my man. It's definitely, I know Smitty looked at flights, actually, and it was just a little too expensive.
I'm just basking in the glow. To be honest. Been waiting a long time for this. And to see it now, I'm a little disappointed there's no speeches. I kind of wanted them to dunk on the haters and the shit talkers that they've had to deal with over basically the past 7-8 years of Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown being together on this roster. It's I don't know. It's awesome. If this feels like something that would be awesome to be there for, watching it on TV though, you see these players for 2 seconds, and next thing you know, they're gone. But it is amazing. Let me tell you what, this is awesome. I love seeing the joy on everybody's faces that are there to take it all in. World champions. This is what you do this for. And as you see Jaylen Brown holding up the Finals MVP trophy, taking a video of just to have forever. Oh man. It really, honestly, I don't even know if it's 100% hit me yet that they're champions. This is every year been waiting. He actually has the NBA Finals, the Eastern Conference Finals champions hat on, funny enough.
I don't even know if he realizes that.
Goes better with the fit. Goes better with the fit.
It does. He's hyping up the crowd here, and I saw Al Horford's interview yesterday when he was in Raising Cane's serving a bunch of people in the city of Boston. He said the exact same thing. He was like, it just hasn't hit me yet. I don't know when it's going to hit me. And I don't blame them. I mean, they're working so hard. They've wanted this for so long. You got to look at Tatum, who's just 26 years old. He's been to numerous Eastern Conference Finals appearances, 2 NBA Finals appearances now. I mean, he's prepared for this moment. So they've been waiting a long time to have their own parade here as each duck boat is bringing a different player, numerous fans as well. They're all repping the 2024 World Champions banner on the side here. So if you guys want to drink with us, feel free. We do have a super chat menu that we are doing here. And I know it's 10 o'clock, but it is going to be 5 o'clock somewhere in this world. So if you guys do want to drink along with us, just like the Boston Celtics players and fans are doing right now in the city of Boston, feel free to do so. They're actually showcasing all the buildings and such that actually do have people working. And I see Derrick White here now holding his son, which was born this year. If you guys remember, he wasn't there for the Charlotte Hornets game because he was at the birth of his son. He's rocking a duck hat, a brand new tooth. Got that fixed pretty well.
Yeah,
don't know if that was in Miami or not.
They said he spent like 3 hours in a dentist chair trying to get a temporary fix on the tooth. So
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, just for the photos and whatnot, I'd want to get a little bit of a fix. I'm sure he's gonna have to get it really fixed this summer, but who knows? Maybe he'll be invited to Paris for the Olympics and he'll have it fixed by then.
You got Sam Hauser on another boat as well. Hoping to see some Luke Cornett here soon. I feel like he's gonna be just wreaking havoc here. Payton Pritchard rocking his Oregon shirt as well. He's representing his college here. He's there with his girlfriend.
And
he's got a lot of his friends on this boat. You see some family members as well. And I see somebody drinking an airplane bottle. And he almost threw up. So that's fun. That is the Boston Celtics for you, if you will.
I love it. I love it. I'm glad. I mean, it's just fun. It is fun that one player is on each duck boat, so you can kind of, take some time to appreciate each player, each member of the roster who made an impact on winning a championship this season. And, I mean, Payton Pritchard made one hell of an impact, I'll tell you what.
Brad Stevens is a genius for offering him a contract before he had a phenomenal year and decided to legitimately just completely rewrite the physics of a half-court shot.
Yeah.
And the way that he they're dumping off beers to people in the crowd.
Beers to people.
They're throwing basketballs to people in the crowd. They're, tossing a bunch of the basketball got tossed back, which is pretty nice. And I love that, man. Imagine drinking a beer. And I think I do have a beer. I have a McUltra right here, which is what they're actually throwing down. And they're signing hats. Pritchard just signed the basketball that he gave to a fan. He's signing hats now. People are throwing stuff up on their boat for him to sign. I mean, he is truly enjoying this, and he deserves it, man. Imagine drinking your beer that was just handed to you by Payton Pritchard. Those hands that have just completely nailed every half-court shot he's probably ever taken in his entire life just gave you a beer. I mean, what a world that must be. It's definitely worth it, man. I was talking to Spinny, and I'm like, I don't do well in crowds like that. I'm a little claustrophobic, so sometimes I enjoy watching it from here. But to have the opportunity to drink a beer handed to me by a Boston Celtic, I mean, I'm keeping that can forever. I'm never throwing away that can. Celtic Raiders girl saying, making lattes and enjoying the live. We appreciate you, Celtic Raiders girl. As always, appreciate you and Celtic Raider. No, this is it's definitely a treat to see, and we are going to talk about a couple of other things here on this live. We are going to have a mailbag. If you guys want to use hashtag Celtics, ask us
questions.
Any questions about the NBA draft that you guys may have. We're going to be live for that.
Extensions, whatever you guys want to talk about.
Draft, anything of that sort.
Only Celtic Raider has given us some questions so far, and I like these two questions because they're about two draft prospects, but we need more. We do have pick number 30 and pick number 54 in this draft. Daryl, we're watching it on the NBA TV app. No. Is it an NBA TV app? Just like the NBA app, I guess. I didn't see you if we're using cable or not.
Nah, it's just the NBA.
We're on the app then.
We are on the app. Joe Mazzulla now with his entire family on his own duck boat, which the city is absolutely just loving Joe Mazzulla at this point. Al Horford in a cowboy hat might be my new lock screen. I mean, that is electric. That is summer has started.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to see if I can find some more pictures from Twitter
Jaden Springer there with his family as well. Got picked up here at the NBA trade deadline. Let me tell you, I bet he is very happy right now about that pickup. Came from Philadelphia. He's on the same boat with O'Shea Brizzy, another player that has really stepped up here for the Boston Celtics, coming off as a role player.
I'm not going to lie, Jaden Springer and this. We see Porzingis with the WWE Championship on right now. That looks so tough. But with Jaden Springer actually is a part of probably the coldest picture of Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown sitting on the float of sorts, the stage of sorts after the confetti rained down. That picture is so tough. I'm not going to lie. Jaden Springer.
I was thinking the same thing.
Kind of ruined it, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everybody gets a ring. Everybody's appreciated. Everybody did something that made him an integral part of this team. But if it was just a Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum photo, I think I might get it printed on a shirt.
The man we've all been waiting for, Luke Cornett, is now just absolutely towering over everybody on this duck boat. He's hyping up the crowd. He's got his family. He's got his friends. Actually sharing a boat with Jordan Walsh, which now you're starting to see, all right, maybe the role players don't get their own boat, but
Cornett was an underrated aspect of this team this year, man. Honestly, like there's just the dirty work he put in. Whenever Kristaps Porzingis went down, he faced a lot more responsibility down low. There were a couple games where he had some sick defensive plays, a constant lob threat down there in the dunker spot. So I loved what Luke Cornett was able to give us this year, and he took his role with stride because you didn't see him much there late into the postseason. He was kind of unplayable in the Indiana Pacers series because they kind of ran a small ball, fast tempo offense, and then Dallas just wasn't a good matchup for him either. So he took it with pride. He understood that maybe those matchups weren't the best for him, but hey, now he's got a ring and he's celebrating on the duck boats right now.
Who is that just hoisting up the Larry O'Brien trophy?
I didn't see.
I don't even know if that was like this year's Larry O'Brien trophy. That's why I was confused.
They probably have a couple of replicas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Jayson Tatum. Now, Celtic Raider said this a little bit earlier because I did say I was upset that there wouldn't be speeches outside, where I guess it's kind of tough in this environment to kind of set up a whole spot for speeches, but they did have interviews with the media on NBC Sports Boston inside TD Garden before this all went down, and Jayson Tatum was asked about the Miami trip and whatnot, and how they've had a bunch of battles down there and trips down there in the past. And Brian Scalabrine, I believe, asked him if this trip was a little bit more easy than the ones in the past, and Tatum goes, "They're all easy." So I love to hear that out of Tatum, even though it might not be 100% true. You're 2-2 in postseason series going down there, but we have something they don't now, and that's an NBA championship.
Laura coming in with a hashtag Celtics question for our mailbag, kind of focusing on the draft and the offseason here for the Boston Celtics. We want to hear from your perspective. Celtic Raiders, letting me know Payton Pritchard is posting on his story as well. So I'll go check out PP's story. And wow, I mean, just insane. His perspective, just showing everybody, what he's been seeing. It looks like he's having a great time. Let's see what Jayson Tatum has put on his story as well. He's just been putting a lot of videos on his story.
Somebody had a sign down there on the floor in Boston saying Luka would be complaining about the traffic. Let's go, man.
Tatum just putting his hand over his heart, telling everybody, thank you and thank you, holding the Larry O'Brien trophy. I don't know if I'd want to hold the trophy in the parade.
Tatum does not want to stop holding the trophy.
No, I don't think he's put it down.
And he has that Jordan brand T-shirt that they actually put a billboard up of outside of Madison Square Garden in New York City where it says, "Don't stop disbelieving," a little message to the haters now that Jayson Tatum is an NBA champion.
Yeah, it's
I keep disbelieving. Keep hating.
I saw a bunch of tweets from New Yorkers like, what the hell is this?
Putting a Boston
billboard in Times Square is kind of crazy. Look at that. Tatum chucking out signed basketballs into the crowd. I mean, what a lucky fan that must be. What is that big? What is a nice bottle of tequila?
Like-
You see him holding it there, like the big tall one.
Is it the Don Julio?
Is it Don Julio?
Is it the night that looks like?
It looks like
That
it.
looks like champagne.
No, it's kind of like that, like skinny top. Like I think it's like a tequila bottle. It looks like.
I don't think it was the Don Julio 1942.
Oh, that's a champagne bottle. It's really weird. You see Jayson Tatum once more just hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy.
This is dope.
This is really dope. Good for him, man. He needed it.
I hope some nice professional pictures come out of this as well.
I need a new screensaver, yeah.
Oh, man. The shirt that Luke Cornett is rocking right now is one of those caricatures
I love that
shirts.
shirt, yeah.
That shirt is hard. I kind of want that.
I'm sure they're selling them somewhere. Tatum's boat throwing out T-shirts into the crowd. I mean, there are so many people out there and so much confetti. God, imagine if I worked in a building that was on that path, I would literally email my boss and be like, "Oh, I think I got food poisoning. I can't go to work."
They actually closed all of Boston public schools today.
I love that. Jaylen Brown with a very impressive ball spin on his finger, and then he drops it into the crowd. So, once again, a very, very lucky fan. All right, keep sending in your hashtag Celtics questions to go on our
Need some more
mailbag.
questions.
Need some more questions about the offseason and our draft that's coming up next week. So if you guys have any questions in here, feel free to drop those down below. We're also going to talk about Jayson Tatum and Derrick White's possible contract extensions coming up in this offseason. Somebody unplug this.
What's going on?
Unplug this.
We're just celebrating a parade, celebrating a championship.
What's up, Chugs? Oh, there it goes. I was like, somebody unplug this. The girl's sweating. We have a quick appearance here by Jeremy Chugs.
We are the champions.
We are the champions.
No time
For losers, 'cause we are the champions.
Finish it off.
Dun dun dun. Of the world.
Came in here to let y'all know Chipotle orders.
Ow! Wow.
What other way to celebrate a Celtics championship than with Chipotle?
Friday. Chugs gets us Chipotle. What a day.
It's in HQ. Let us know in the chat, what should they get from Chipotle? What do you get from Chipotle? Let us know. Are you guac on the side, queso on the side? What are you getting at Chipotle?
I'm guac on the side. They be putting too much on there, and the next thing you know, I'm eating a whole bowl of avocado, and it's like, you know.
Yeah, it's like I mean oatmeal.
I mean oatmeal. I don't want it squishy.
Yeah.
I don't want Gerber baby food. Wow, what a time. I can do it online right here. You are God sent for that.
While Allie gets her Chipotle order in, I'm just going to continue to sing We Are the Champions. We are the champions, my friends. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. Dun, 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 dun. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions. Da, 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 of the world. Oh my God, what a day. Right now, Al Horford's got a cowboy hat on. Is that a little flex against Dallas?
He might be.
A little Dallas jab right there, maybe.
He's also rocking the drunk Brady shirt after he won the Super Bowl in Tampa.
Is he really?
Yep.
In the chat too, if y'all want to predict it. Ed Robbins, Duncan, what's good? What's good? Who gets the drunkest out of all the Celtics players on the parade today?
Currently, our poll is saying
Tatum, so don't take this the wrong way. Tatum seems like a lightweight to me. I feel like Tatum is like 4 beers deep and he's like, I'm feeling it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think Derrick White.
Derrick White definitely is hammered.
Sneaky pick, Payton Pritchard.
Payton Pritchard definitely. I mean, at Oregon, Payton Pritchard was definitely putting him down.
For sure. Thank you, Chugs. I don't know, man. I've seen Porzingis 3 times now on the TV, and he hasn't put his beer down yet. So I could see Kristaps Porzingis. It could be 3 different beers, my guy. Could be 3 different beers. You never know.
Who's on this duck boat?
Oh, it looks like it's Tillman. Oh, yeah, they're holding up the X there. That's like Xavier Tillman's boat
duck
with
boat.
his family as well.
Sure, he's got some Michigan State homies up there as well.
Feel free to use #Celtics. Put your questions in about the draft or the NBA offseason if you guys have any. I love the duck boats, man. I think that's such a really good tradition they do here with Boston. It's not just like, the double-decker buses or anything like that. I mean, everybody's got their own Boston Duck Tour boat. I'm seeing some Celtics ones, some Red Sox ones, as Paul Pierce once again reliving his glory days, if you will.
Need some more questions? Use #Celtics. We'll get into our mailbag here shortly.
Ed Robbins saying Tatum or Brown's going to get drunk. Yeah, it'll be intriguing. I don't know. I have not seen Jayson Tatum take a drink yet. He's been too busy hoisting up the Larry O'Brien trophy. Got a couple of people smoking cigars here on their boats. What a time, man. Tatum finally giving up the Bryan trophy and giving it to one of the people on his duck boat there. All right, we're going to talk about Tatum's extension here a little bit in this show. Derrick White's extension as well. And then we're going to have a draft mailbag. We're going to hear from you guys what you're expecting ahead of the draft next week. And then any offseason moves you guys may think. Will they trade their draft pick? Will they pick up somebody in free agency? Which will also start this weekend. Not this weekend. Not tomorrow and Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday is when the free agency starts. They could also make a couple of trades, which I don't know if that's really the priority here. Wow. I wish I don't know Boston well enough to know the route. I saw a picture of it, but I was like, I've been to Boston twice. I'm not huge in terms of where they are right now. J.D. Davison, he's repping on the boat here with Big Nimi Keita. Celtic Raider, good question here. I like it. Duncan, I like that question. Ed Robbins, an even better question, my man. Loving it. Yeah, Jordan Walsh is actually on the same boat as Luke Cornett, which is really fun. They're just ginormous, really tall dudes.
Duncan, if you want to re-ask that question, copy-paste it with #Celtics in the question so I can get it up on screen, brother.
Amanda Teresa, good question there as well. Remember, the draft is on Wednesday and Thursday, and then the NBA free agency starts next Sunday. So we're going to talk about the draft in our mailbag, Jayson Tatum's extension, and Derrick White's extension, possible extension, on this show as well. All right, should we bring up our Super Chat menu here as well, see if anybody wants to party with us? We do still have our green team, which we will start being live once a week here in this offseason, which will be super nice. We obviously racked on a lot of names here during the NBA Finals, but we still have our green team here. $20 puts you on the green team. Spinny and I, as always, do have our drinking die here, and we always have a beer bong and a shotgun race for $50. I can always dunk on Smitty once more here for $100, and then $5. We'll just celebrate the Boston Celtics with you guys. I know what you're thinking, Allie. What are you doing? It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's Friday, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Good question in there from Ed Robbins, Lore, and Duncan. Celtic Raider, do you guys have a set day you will go live? We have not discussed it yet, to be honest. When we do, probably the first day that we do go live here in the offseason, which will be after the draft and everything, will probably be in the middle of the free agency week. We will let you know, Celtic Raider. I post a lot of stuff on the community tab as well on our YouTube page, which should let you guys know what's going on. All right. We're also 11 likes away here from 100 if you guys want to go ahead and hit that like button for me. I would never be mad at it. Never be mad at it. Still taking their tour here. Still making their rounds, their routes, whatever. A couple of reporters saying Sam Hauser is as hype as I've ever seen him. Luke Cornett is doing his best to make eye contact with as many fans as possible. And you got Derrick White and Svima Hailuk sharing a duck boat as well. Let me see what else I can find here. Not as many pictures on Twitter as I thought there would be. Joe Mazzulla having the time of his life. Somebody commented and said, bro thinks he's on the team. Bro, he is the team. He is the team. Yeah, I guess the lack of speeches really does suck. I would like to hear it like...
You would have liked to hear something from him.
I know. I would have liked to hear Horford or somebody like that. When are you guys getting your Celtics-related tattoos from Duncan? We're not. We did not reach our goal to get those tattoos. I said if we got $4,000 in Super Chats during the finals, Game 5, I would get a Shamrock tattoo. But we only did 2.5, 2,500. So, Ed Robbins saying, Allie, do your week show on Wednesday. Well, I can't because Smitty is actually a producer for another channel here, and they go live on Wednesday. So,
yeah, and Friday, and yep. It's a busy man. I got a lot of places to be. Wear a lot of hats.
I wear a lot of hats. But we'll let you guys know when we do end up going live. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. What show, Smith? He does Seahawks and Ravens with Tyler Jones. He does a couple of NFL stuff here as well. On the side from the NBA.
Duncan, I feel like you got to get it on your arm, bro.
I don't know. I do love a good calf tattoo. I love a good like upper thigh tattoo, like right above the knee. One of my friends in college, he got the Eagles logo and the Roman numerals of the Super Bowl when they won when I was in college.
JT was at a Boston bar last night, and he said shots for everybody. He bought shots for the whole bar. It's pretty sweet. Oh, it's Dave Portnoy getting in a selfie with Jayson Tatum and the Larry O.B.
I love that.
Hank from Part of My Take had to shave his head because the Celtics won the championship, and he posed with Joe Mazzulla and Derrick White, said Baldy's on top.
Yeah, Horford, he's been completely sober, man. He's just holding his daughter, which I love. Love that.
I'm not seeing much, many parade pictures. I see a sign that says, "Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?"
I want that sign. I have 2 cats, and I wish so bad that I named one Tingus and the other one Pingus. Tingus Pingus would have been great. But their names are Luna and Beanie, so less fun. Svi Mihailuk and Derrick White rocking the bucket hat boat here. Both players repping their bucket hats. Derrick White doesn't want to get burnt on his bald head there. NBA Social on Derrick White's boat as well. Seeing Jenny Fisher on there. Derrick White's actually chucking out water bottles. He is a dad, if I've ever seen one in my life. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready.
We're going to Tatum first?
No, let's do the mailbag first.
Okay.
If we're ready.
Yeah, I got Seahawks, Celtic Raider. We go live later today, actually.
Yeah, we'll just do the mailbag, and then we can jump into Tatum and White. Little bit later. God, that Chipotle is going to smack.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's a good Friday. Good Friday. All right, we're going to hop into our mailbag here in just a few moments, talking about the draft, talking about the offseason moves, because, as we're celebrating this parade, you got to still think ahead to the future because the offseason starts now. So what they will end up doing, what it'll be like, what moves they're going to make. I wish I could predict Brad Stevens, but he is a genius when it comes to those offseason moves. So he may have something up his sleeve that we are not even aware of just yet. But my, oh my, that is a absolutely packed place as Payton Pritchard has an Oregon flag that he's wrapping around himself. Porzingis wrapping the Latvia flag around him as well. Repping their teams, repping their countries. Shy Guy Jr., Allie, who are our free agents on our roster? I'll actually talk about that in our Jayson Tatum video that's coming up here a little bit later. So stick around for that. I've got all of that and more. I got you guys covered, man. I got you guys covered for your off-season needs. Don't even worry about it. Just use the Fanatics in the mailbag and the Tatum and White.
Okay, all of them.
Yeah, it's just on the safe side. All right, I am ready when you are.
All right.
still making the rounds here on the parade, but we're going to take a quick break and do our mailbag video here. Stick around for that. We're going to answer some questions about the NBA draft and the NBA offseason, which is now officially underway. Smith, you ready? Let's do it. What's going on, Boston Celtics fans? I am your host, Allie Barefoot, and I want to come on here and break down your questions on ahead of the NBA draft. I want to answer some questions about the Boston Celtics offseason because I get it. They just won the NBA Finals, and it's hard to really remove yourself from celebrating a very long-awaited award for this Boston Celtics team, but we do have to move on. The NBA draft being Wednesday and Thursday of this week, and then free agency starts on Sunday. So with that being said, let's go ahead and answer some of your questions ahead of the draft and the offseason. Coming in here from my main man, Tyler Smitty, and his beautiful, beautiful burner. So if you guys weren't aware, the Boston Celtics actually have number 30 and number 54 in the NBA draft here in those first two rounds. So Smitty's wondering, who should the Celtics take with the number 30 pick? We actually put out a video today on our channel, on Friday on our channel, talking about ESPN's mock draft does have Pacom Dadier going at number 30 for the Boston Celtics. And then we also have number 54, got Antonio Reeves, who could also be another prospect there. And believe it or not, I have seen a couple of rumors out there that maybe a Bronny James type of situation at number 30 could possibly be in play here. But, Smith, I know that this is obviously your question here, and I know that you are a huge NBA and college basketball fan here. There's a lot of great talent out there, but in my opinion, this draft doesn't scream out to me that there's like this one player the Boston Celtics have to get with pick number 30.
Well, you gotta let the chips fall where they may. The Celtics obviously have the last pick of the first round, so there's going to be 29 other players selected before their pick is up. A guy around that range that I'm looking at is definitely a Ryan Dunn out of UVA, looking like potentially the best on-ball wing defender in this draft. And if you could turn a guy who doesn't need the ball in his hands into a valuable player for the Celtics, who pride themselves on defense and shooting the three ball. You make him into a 3-and-D guy, I'd love a pick like that. Also, Oso Ighodaro from Marquette is another guy who I think is a really switchable defender. He moves the ball around, and he can play in space. So those two guys are two of the names that I have on my radar right now as far as names who will probably be around at pick 30, and hopefully the Celtics can take advantage of that when they come with a little bit of a draft slip by those two.
Well, once you, like you said, pick number 30, it's going to be kind of dealer's choice at that point, but that's for the price you pay when you are currently in the parade for the championship. So with that being said, if you want the Celtics today to go live for the NBA draft, I need 25 new subscribers on this video. Hit that sub button for me. We're going to try to go live for both days, Wednesday and Thursday of the NBA draft. I want to provide you guys with all the latest information you guys need to know about the future Boston Celtics players. But I need 25 new subscribers right now. Hit that sub button, and don't you worry, I can count and I can check to see who's subscribing and who's not. Coming in for one of our main men on Celtics Today and all of our watch parties here. Celtics, when do you think is the right time to stop celebrating and focus on next season? Because I'm not stopping till September. Duncan, I don't blame you, man. I'm not mad at this at all. But I was actually talking to Smitty about this, and it is kind of hard because you want to embrace what just happened for the first time in 16 years, but you also still have to figure out how to run it back. And I do think, thankfully, the Boston Celtics are in a really good situation right now to kind of bask in both. And they know how to move forward. Brad Stevens didn't sleep between winning the NBA Finals and working out 4 players for the Boston Celtics ahead of that draft. So if you want to check out who those 4 players are, we have it right now on Celtics Today by Chat Sports. So I think, honestly, Brad Stevens at the front office needs to make that transition. I think the players can honestly take maybe a week or two to really bask in this, have their offseason, go to Cancun, enjoy vacation with their families. They 110% deserve it because the Celtics are in a great position where they're able to retain the starting 5, starting 6, possibly even the top 7 of this Boston Celtics basketball team. So do not get it twisted. Brad Stevens never sleeps. Lord coming in here, hashtag Celtics, who should they sign in free agency? There's a lot of pretty good positions they can fill here in free agency. I've always kind of looked at adding just a little bit more size when it comes to the paint. You know, you got Horford, 38 years old, who really stepped up, and according to rumors, looks like he's coming back. But then you saw Porzingis with that injury there. Luke Cornett not really being the type of player that they felt a lot of trust in the NBA Finals. So you could always go out and get a bigger guy like an Andre Drummond just to kind of put there on that third spot in the depth chart when it comes to that center position. I'm always on board here with adding more wing depth as well, or possibly even another guard in that type of situation. So there are several players they can pick up here in free agency, but we're going to have a lot of those videos coming out later this week talking about who they could be looking at once free agency does start on Sunday. Amanda Teresa coming in. Do you think if we ran it back from last year, do we win? Are we talking about like what just happened in 2024? Because absolutely. Those starting 5 players are set to return. Al Horford set to return. Payton Pritchard recently signed a contract extension before the season started, so I think they absolutely could. Even when I saw yesterday, Alex Caruso got traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm like, damn, that really makes the Thunder a really good basketball team, adding that defender on their roster. So with that being said, it's going to be tough. But I'm immediately thinking, okay, what do these players and what do these teams need to do to be able to compete with us? Because Banner 18 was one thing, but the Dynasty is probably what they're going to be searching for next, and that has to start next year. With that being said, we have a couple more questions we do want to unfold here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, but I want to make sure you guys have everything you need when it comes to your 2024 championship gear. Go to chatsports.com/NBA champs. This is going to get you guys that really nice Boston Celtics t-shirt. It's going to get you guys 2024 NBA champion shirt, which all the players were wearing when they won. A lot of players and a lot of fans are going to be wearing this shirt come TD Garden in the fall when the season does start up again. You can also wear this to a Boston Red Sox game. You can wear this to a New England Patriots game. I mean, this is going to be a timeless, classy shirt. I suggest you guys go on ahead and get it right now. Chatsports.com/NBA champs. They have hats, they have shorts, sweatpants, sweatshirts when it gets a little bit colder in the winter. So go on ahead, get your championship gear right now using that link, chatsports.com/NBA champs. Celtic Raider coming in. Did the Celtics draft Zach Edey? With the number 30 pick, it could be possible. I see Edey kind of going towards the end of that first round. So it could possibly work out in their favor. I don't know if I'm the biggest Edey fan. I think he has a lot of attributes that will translate well to the NBA, but I think there's a lot of stuff he could possibly needs to really work on before he does come to a team like the Boston Celtics. But like I said, I'm always a fan of adding that size down low. I love adding width in the paint. I love the wing depth. So when you do pull a player like Zach Edey, I think that he's definitely one of the more well-known names in the NBA draft. So I wouldn't be surprised the Celtics, if he's still on the board at number 30, would at least have some interest in it. But he could be that player that goes in between like 15 and 25, which is unfortunate when you got the number 30 pick, is that you're really just going to have to take a dealer's choice when you have 29 players that go ahead of you here. So I could see them possibly ending up with Zach Edey if he is still on the board. But Brad Stevens, man, he is a genius. So whoever he drafts, I'm going to assume it's probably the best case scenario for the Boston Celtics. Coming in here at Robbins. Who do we need to re-sign and who will not sign out of the list? Unfortunately, I don't see the Boston Celtics re-signing Luke Cornett. I just don't know if this is a player that they want to keep in the future. I'm not sure. You know, him entering free agency. You have Sam Hauser entering free agency as well. Same with Svi Mykhailiuk. Honestly, I could see the Celtics not re-signing any of those players. If I were to re-sign somebody, I would re-sign Sam Hauser. I think that his defense and the catch-and-shoot ability is just unparalleled. And I do think he's one of those players that if you do give up, he's going to be a huge resource on any other team. So hopefully, I think we re-sign Sam Hauser, but I don't see us re-signing Luke Cornett, which is a little unfortunate here, but, that is the business. Excuse me. Celtic Raider coming in. What are positions of need for the Celtics after winning? What do we need to get better at? I primarily look at, you're going to look at wing depth, you're going to look at center depth, and you're going to look at shooting guard depth. That's kind of where I'm at because right now you got Derrick White at that shooting guard position, then you have Sam Hauser. And with Sam Hauser entering free agency and there's no guarantee they're going to end up re-signing him or keeping him on the roster, they're going to have to really be searching pretty hard in free agency or a trade to be able to refill that shooting guard position. I love the wing depth position. You got Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum in there as well, but then it kind of falls off after that. And then, like I said, if you don't re-sign Luke Cornett, then you got Porzingis and Al Horford. But we just saw the negative side of Porzingis, and that is injury. So when you have somebody like that, Al Horford played tremendous. But then you also got Xavier Tillman, who's entering free agency as well. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts here. But the good news is that most of this is just role players that they're going to have to try to weed in and weed out here. And the starting five seems to be pretty stable. I got a question here for you guys. Name a player you want the Boston Celtics to draft. Go on ahead, drop that name down below. There are several great talent coming into the NBA here in the NBA draft. So go on ahead, name a player that you guys want to be on the Boston Celtics next year after the 2024 NBA draft. Coming in here from Alliesburn, what position should Brad Stevens prioritize at the draft? Like I said, just once more, I'm always a huge fan of adding more size. I love the paint position. I'm getting a little worried about Al Horford being 38 years old. He'll turn 39 in the season, and then we'll Porzingis with injury. So if I'm Brad Stevens, I'm looking at the big guys. I'm looking at those young, athletic, humongous guys. You got to look at Brandon Pajemski and Trey Jackson-Davis. Those were two players that immediately came in and made an impact off the bench for the Golden State Warriors. Even Pajemski and Trey Jackson-Davis starting for the Warriors at some point in this season. So if they can end up getting a nice 6'7" between 6'9" player that's got a good width on him, great on-ball defender, I mean, I think you're going to end up really winning this draft at pick number 30 if you get some size that can go down low. All right, with that being said, go on ahead and follow me on Twitter as well. I'll be live tweeting during the draft. I'll be giving you guys any updates, any contract extensions, any free agency moves, anything like that you can find right there at my Twitter. Give me a follow at AR Barefoot. And as always, go Boston Celtics. All right, I got a question here for you guys. What is your favorite part of the parade as they are still making their rounds? How long is the parade?
They said coverage ends around 1 p.m. Eastern. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. It could be 2 p.m.
Got another hour. Whew. Smith, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Duck boats continue to roll through Boston. Confetti continues to fly. It just feels like something like that is better when you're there. It's tough to kind of watch on TV because you're just kind of watching a bunch of cars roll. I mean, I love to see the vibes. I love to see everybody smiling and happy, jumping around, drinking. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous that I wasn't there. Al Horford's trending on Twitter right now.
Probably for the cowboy hat. 45 people watching in here with us. Appreciate you guys for taking your time out of your Friday morning / afternoon to be here with us. 107 likes here so far. So stick around because we are going to talk about Jayson Tatum here in about the next 5 minutes or so. Talking about Jayson Tatum and his possible contract extension, which Adrian Wojnarowski has something to say about that. And then we're going to end this show talking about Derrick White's possible contract extension, which is also looming in the offseason here for the Boston Celtics. Michael saying nothing like watching the parade at 8:30 a.m. LOL, beers this early is dangerous. Friday fun day. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I mean, it's just a beautiful sight. It really is. The team looks so happy being there. They deserve this. They've waited for this. They worked their ass off for this.
Adam Kaufman tweeting out, send pics of the most random jerseys you see at today's parade. We got a Marcus Smart jersey.
I know.
And a Jared Sullinger jersey. That's unbelievable. We got a Carson Edwards number 4. Shout out to Carson Edwards. That's a part of the journey. See, like this is kind of my favorite part, is like looking at the past and what got us here. As you see a Kemba Walker jersey, which I do have back at home, funny enough. Robert Williams jerseys out there. An Enes Kanter number 11 City jersey. You know, the one with the skinny gold Celtics print and numbers. Got a Kelly Olynyk jersey out here. Got a Joe Mazzulla West Virginia jersey. That's hard. That's hard. Oh my goodness. I got a Paul Pierce jersey. It's Paul Pierce Celtics jersey, but it says Inglewood on the front. instead of Boston. Amir Johnson from somebody at number 90. Got a Gershon Yabusele jersey, number 30, before Sam Hauser. I think actually Gordon Hayward donned it between them two. But, or no, I'm an idiot. Gordon Hayward wore 20. Sam Hauser wore it before him. Terry Rozier jersey as well. A Jared Sullinger sleeve jersey. That's nuts. That's a gem. I kind of want that. Wow.
Deuce Tatum is soaking this all in as well.
Got a couple Rondos. Deuce Tatum out there. Let's go. A couple Kyrie jerseys with tape on them. What is this? Oh, a Semi Ojeleye jersey. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Wow. There's Jaylen Brown again with the State Your Source shirt. Love to see that. F. Stephen A. Smith.
Flexing on him. Is Brown married?
No, Jaylen Brown's a bachelor. Him and Porzingis, they live in the same building.
Do they really?
Single men.
That's dangerous. All right, what do you say we talk about Tatum?
Let's talk about Tatum
Let's talk about Tatum a little bit. All right, we'll talk about the Jayson Tatum contract extension possibility coming up here in the next couple of minutes. Stick around for that, as Derrick White and Svi Mykhailiuk genuinely are, they have to be hammered. They have to be hammered. Oh, wow, Derrick White wearing the Nobody Cares t-shirt, because when he asked Joe Mazzulla, he congratulated him. He was like, hey, man, congratulations on winning Eastern Conference Coach of the Month. And Joe Mazzulla looked at him with a dead face and said, nobody cares.
It's fair.
I think Derrick White and Joe Mazzulla have a really good relationship. They're probably about the same age, right?
No, Mazzulla.
How old is Derrick White?
Derrick White's not even 30.
Oh. Maybe I'm thinking Holiday and Mazzulla are pretty much the same age.
Holiday and Mazzulla are close in age, I believe.
I didn't realize Derrick White. Oh, well, maybe I did. Yeah, Mazzulla's 35. Holiday is 34, and then Derrick White, is he 29?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
29.
Oh, wow. Maybe the bald head makes me think he's older.
He does give that kind of vibe off,
Yeah.
I guess, as you have a completely shiny dome.
All right, let's talk about Tatum. All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Could a big payday be coming for Jayson Tatum, possibly the face of the franchise of the Boston Celtics? Well, reports are showing that the Celtics are expected to offer a historic contract to Jayson Tatum, which could be a supermax contract, which could be making Jayson Tatum the highest paid player in the NBA. Well, don't take it from me. Take it from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Here's what he had to say about the Boston Celtics and Jayson Tatum coming to an agreement on a possible contract extension very soon. Once these NBA finals are over, the teams are now allowed to start negotiating contract extensions and negotiating with their own free agents, which means that the Celtics will soon present Jayson Tatum with the largest contract extension in NBA history. A 5-year, $315 million extension. I mean, that is going to be unreal. After this season, once he lands that $315 million deal, he'll eclipse a deal his teammate Jaylen Brown signed over a year ago, what was for about $30 million less. And we kind of knew this, that Brown was going to be the highest paid player in the NBA only for a short period of time. It was kind of like, hey man, you broke that window, you broke down that wall, and now everybody else is going to start becoming the next highest paid player. The next highest paid player. You see this with quarterbacks all the time in the NFL. You got Joe Burrow, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it just kind of happens. And then now the Boston Celtics do fortunately have two of the highest paid players possibly in the NBA on their roster. Here's Brown's salary right now. As you guys can see, that contract extension does kick in next season, $49 million. Then it goes all the way down to 28, 29, $65 million for that season. I mean, Brown is going to be a very expensive player. And then adding on somebody like Jayson Tatum is going to be 10 times more expensive here. But here's what he currently makes. Makes $34.8 million in the upcoming season, and then $37 million in 2025-26 season. And then after that, he's looking at unrestricted free agency. So this is why the Boston Celtics are like, hey, we don't even want to push it to that 2024-25 season. We want to make sure that we have a contract negotiation already settled ahead, especially after they just won the NBA Finals. I mean, Jayson Tatum is a player that you can have on your franchise for the rest of his career, and you want to lock him down now. So coming in here from a nice little Spotrac, breaks it down even more here about his contract extension numbers. Jayson Tatum is eligible to sign a 5-year, $314.8 million extension this summer, which would guarantee him $349 million over the next 6 seasons. I mean, that is an absurd payday, and they break it down even more that if they were to offer him this extension, let's say next week or something, this is what Tatum would start making starting in 2025. So you got to think Brown's contract extension will start next season, and then Tatum's would start the season after that, and then all the way through 2029-30, he'll make $72 million in a season. I mean, I would love to break that down to what each game he would make there, but this is an extremely high payday, but I do think Jayson Tatum is worth it. Tatum earned the extension this season. No, he wasn't the NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP or even the NBA Finals MVP, but Tatum has proven that he can be the face of the franchise. There have been several MVP discussions around the league. There have been several, is he the next face of the league discussions. I think Jayson Tatum proved that he's a scorer at all 3 levels. He can play on both sides of the basketball, and he's continuing to prove that he is better year in and year out. But this season alone, I think the Celtics would not be successful this year the way they were without Jayson Tatum. Adrian Wojnarowski goes on to continue talking about Jayson Tatum's extension. I talked to his agent, Joe Wexler, earlier today. Interesting enough, he says, and he and Tatum have not discussed the elements of that deal all season. He says Tatum hasn't talked about postseason MVP awards, nothing. The only thing he talked about is winning a championship. And we're watching the parade. We saw it on Friday, and I was watching Jayson Tatum, and I'm just glad that he's finally basking in all of his accomplishments because he's had several. Man, the guy's 26. I'm 25, and I can't imagine the accomplishments that Tatum has accumulated in his time in the NBA. And the fact that even all season long, he could have easily been an egotistical player saying, hey man, I don't want to do this until I get paid. No, he wanted to bring a championship to his city. And now he is an NBA champion. He's still a 4-time All-NBA nominee or player. 5-time NBA All-Star. He passed Kobe Bryant for most playoff points before turning 27 with 2,711. And he led Boston in points, rebounds, and assists in the postseason while he came in second for the Eastern Conference Finals and NBA Finals MVP. So what do you guys think? Should Jayson Tatum be the highest paid player in the NBA? Type Y for yes, type N for no, because like I said, 5 years, $315 million. I mean, Jayson Tatum sounds like he is worth that money, but I want to hear from you guys. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Well, I go on ahead and tell you guys how you guys can get the best gear right now at Fanatics. This is your championship gear, your 2024 NBA championship gear. You can get the shirts, you can get the hats, you can get the sweatshirts. I will be repping this come next season. I know almost everybody in TD Garden is going to be repping this come next season. So if you guys want to go ahead and get it, go to chatsports.com/NBA champs. I mean, I'm getting this t-shirt and I'm handing this down to my grandkids. I'm going to say, hey, man, I covered the Celtics in 2024 when they won. Here is my shirt. Now it's yours. It's going to be vintage by then, but you never know. It looks great right now. Chatsports.com/NBA champs. All right, Brian Windhorst made a little comment on NBA contracts and how they're working this year, and he said there is a new rule this year. As soon as the finals is over, which it is, teams can negotiate with their own free agents. So if the NBA Finals ends tonight, which obviously he said this ahead of Game 5, we will start seeing contracts, I believe, as early as tomorrow. And there are numerous contract talks that the Boston Celtics need to have. Obviously, Tatum is your top priority. He's the face of your franchise. So when you have Jayson Tatum, you can genuinely expect a contract extension at any point now since the NBA Finals are over. When I say they have numerous contracts to discuss, they have numerous contracts to discuss. But the good news is they actually have a lot of players already under contracts that they don't really need to tweak at all. Jaylen Brown, he expires in 2029. Tatum in 2025, but they're going to address Tatum here in this offseason. Holiday, they already took care of him, signing him to a 4-year contract extension in, I believe, March or April of this season. Porzingis, they have him for another year through 2026. Derrick White through 2025, but I do expect them to make some kind of offer or a contract negotiation discussion in this offseason. Al Horford on the team for 1 more year. Pritchard, they extended him ahead of this season. And then Jordan Walsh, they do still have him through 2026. There are a couple of team options and player options as well. Springer, Kata, and Hauser each have team options here for this next upcoming season, so they can decide what they want to do with these 3 players. And then O'Shea Brissett has his own player option heading into this season, and I do not see O'Shea Brissett declining that player option unless maybe he wants some more minutes like his former teammate Delano Banton after he got traded to the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, he has been literally blazing it up in there. He has been going off when it comes to points per game, so maybe Brizzy declines that if he wants another role, a larger role, but if he enjoys being on a championship team, I would stick in Boston. And then I heard you guys did ask me in my comments earlier some free agents. Luke Cornett is an unrestricted free agent now. Xavier Tillman Sr., Svi Mykhailiuk, J.D. Davison, and Drew Peterson. So these are going to be a couple of unfortunate goodbyes if they do end up not re-signing, especially Luke Cornett, maybe even an Xavier Tillman. I think Tillman definitely proved in the postseason that he could be valuable to the Boston Celtics, but I don't know what Brad Stevens wants to do in terms of money when it comes to a player like Luke Cornett or Xavier Tillman. Brian Windhorst also commenting, the Celtics are all coming back next year. And Jayson Tatum is going to sign a $315 million extension the next week or two. And I mean, that was right after the finals. So we could expect this anytime. As Brian Windhorst says, it's going to lock him in alongside Jaylen Brown. They may have to adjust some of those role players, like, the free agents and the team options, unfortunately. But Brown and Tatum are locked in. Holiday's locked in. And they're going to lock in Derrick White, is my assumption, over the summer, which is my assumption as well. But like I just showed you guys, they do still have Derrick White through 2025, so you don't necessarily have to, but if you want to show your respect and if you really want to make Derrick White feel loved and appreciated in this organization, you should at least have a discussion with him. But I wanted to reiterate that Tatum is expected to sign in the next week or two. I mean, this man is just starting off his summer phenomenally. And do not be surprised when you get that Woj bomb that says Jayson Tatum is now the highest paid player in the NBA. Overall, my take here is that he's earned the extension. I don't look at this player, and I don't look at him as an overpaid player. Obviously, he's not perfect. Jaylen Brown's the highest paid player right now, and he struggles with his left hand. So he's going to continue to get better. He's 26 years old, Tatum is. He's going to continue to thrive. Secure him while you still have the starting 5 next season, and then worry about it after you secure Banner 19. Should Tatum be paid more or less than a 5-year, $315 million deal? Type M for more, type L for less if you guys think this is too much or too little for Jayson Tatum and his accomplishments so far in the NBA. Comment that down below, and as always, hit that sub button for me if you guys have not already. We will try to go live for the draft on Wednesday and Thursday of next week, and then free agency starts next Sunday. You guys don't want to miss anything. Hit that sub button for me. All right. What's up, King Shorts? Did Pascal Siakam get signed?
That can't happen yet because his free agency hasn't opened. Who's saying Pascal?
We saw this Pascal. Pacers already got his contract done. Celtic Raider.
Did they?
I don't know.
Maybe they can extend it. Maybe they're able to extend him. I haven't looked much into Pascal Siakam, but let's see. Nothing's come out about an official Pascal Siakam re-sign yet.
Whew. All right, got about 45 people in here. Celtics.
Oh, they did. Okay.
They just did?
This was 7 hours ago, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, 2 days ago. I can't believe I didn't see anything about this.
I saw nothing.
2 days ago, Pascal Siakam agrees to 4-year, $189 million contract.
Oh my God. I just saw Malik Monk last night, but I didn't see Siakam at all.
Malik Monk, he said what he signed up for 72. Siakam, getting $45 million a year.
All right, Boston Celtics are starting to clear out here a little bit in terms of the parade. Got about kind of making towards the end of their routes. And, we've seen all the players, all the coaches, all the fans. Fans are starting to clear out. Confetti's starting to fade a little bit as now Celtics fans have a memory that will last forever. So we're going to talk about Derrick White here in just a moment, his contract extension, and they're going to wrap up this show. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us in here. As E-Money saying, yeah, Sammy Buckets is turned up. I heard Sam Hauser is. I should have put Sam Hauser in the poll. He looks very, very turned up. Recapping the parade here a little bit. Payton Pritchard just soaking it all in, man. He deserves this so much. He's just elevated his game. He's that type of role player that he can say he did his part, man. He wasn't the star, but he did exactly what he needed to. And, man, he played for 1 minute in Game 5 and had 3 points, and that was that half-court shot. So he's a stay-ready king. The stay-ready king. Everybody's pointing at their ring finger now. I mean, they're just really basking it in. I hope that this parade let it sink in for the city and let it sink in for the players. Like, wow, I'm actually an NBA champion. Because Banner 18 is here, baby. And it was a very fun season. All right. I'm ready when you are, man.
Let's get into some Derrick White talk, because he's got to get extended as well.
Dave Portnoy on his own duck boat.
Let's go.
Screaming, let's go, Boston.
With the Barstool crew. Let's go, man. This is awesome. Wow.
All right, let's talk about Derrick White here, shall we?
Let's do it.
Coming up here on Celtics Today by Chat Sports, we want to talk about the Derrick White possible contract extension that could be coming later this summer. I think Derrick White is a player that absolutely deserves to be paid more. I think he's a player that's elevated his playing style, and he's one of those guys that if he played for anybody else, I would probably hate him. But because he plays for the Boston Celtics, I'm really glad he's on our team, man. He's a guy you just can't not like. He's got a contagious energy about him. He's just a team player. He's really encapsulated the Bostonian type of way of living. And Derrick White is a phenomenal ball player. And that's why I think he should be extended. But let's talk about the ins and the outs, right? Because it's a business. And just because I want Derrick White to retire in Boston doesn't mean the funds are there, doesn't mean that's going to be in the cards. But we do hope it is, because sources say that Derrick White is now eligible for a 4-year, $126 million contract extension. Here's what Brian Robb had to say from Mass Live on Derrick White, saying, Boston will very much be open to a White contract extension per league sources this summer, despite the looming financial challenges, because those financial challenges come with having already the highest paid player in the NBA on your roster, and then going to make the next highest paid player in the NBA still on your roster in Tatum and Brown. But here's why they're now going to possibly talk about a contract extension this summer, is because in 2024-25, Derrick White will make $20 million. But then after that, he's an unrestricted free agent. So normally when you have a player like White, you want to lock him down before that free agency starts to loom over his head towards the end of 2025 season. He's proven he's worth an extension. And the good news is that we do still have Derrick White for another year. So if this summer is the summer of Tatum, and they got to figure out the financial stability to be able to extend the face of your franchise in Jayson Tatum, they do still have Derrick White, and who's to say a contract can't come in the middle of the 2024-25 NBA season. So we do still have Derrick White for another year. He's locked in, ready to go for the 2024-25 season. But if Boston does offer a 4-year contract extension to White after Tatum's Supermax, which you guys have seen, it's going to be somewhere near $125 million 4-year extension for White, a 5-year, $315 million extension for Tatum. They would owe players $200 million in the 2025-26 season. But he's a bald-headed god, man. I mean, this dude, bald-headed Derrick White, changed lives. He is now an NBA champion. He's a 2-time all-defensive second team. You know, the argument could be had that a guard should have been on the NBA first team, and could have been Derrick White for sure. He led the NBA in blocks for players under 6'4", and he's a potential Team USA injury replacement for Paul George. So Derrick White's been having a phenomenal year, and even his accolades have just spoken for themselves. And here's what Brad Stevens had to say on Derrick White during the regular season here of the NBA, saying, "We'd love to have Derrick as long as we can have Derrick. I haven't been in this job too long, but that one doesn't feel like brain surgery to me. If we can keep Derrick White around here, that's probably a good idea." Like I said, you know, he's been in commercials for Boston. It's Sam Adams, you know, stuff like that. He's just really encapsulated what it means to live in Boston. His family's here. He's now brought a championship to this city. He tried to help them by forcing it to a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2023. Derrick White deserves to play for the best team in the NBA, and that's the Boston Celtics. So my question to you guys is, think Boston should extend Derrick White? Type Y for yes, type in for no in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the bald-headed god that is Derrick White. And as always, get your championship gear, man. They just won the NBA Finals last week. I know it feels like years ago at this point, but chatsports.com/NBA champs. That's going to get you guys this really, really great shirt here. Champions Boston Celtics is what the players were wearing when they were hoisting the Larry O'Brien trophy for the first time in the air. You guys can get hats, shirts, sweatshirts, sweatpants, shorts, whatever you guys want to rock. They've got it for you, but I highly suggest using this link. chatsports.com/NBA champs. Go on ahead and get your 2024 NBA Champions gear right now. Evan Sidery coming in here. The Celtics signing Derrick White to a long-term deal is a huge priority this offseason per Woj. Boston can offer White up to a 4-year, $126 million deal. So Woj has already hinted at a Jayson Tatum contract extension, saying that is pretty much already on the docket for them to do this season. But now a huge priority, Brad Stevens already said it, for as long as we can have Derrick White, we want Derrick White. So they're going to treat him with the utmost respect in this offseason because they're not going to have any kind of bad beef there with you paid Tatum, you're not going to pay White. And the latest report here from Mark Stein reported White is expected to seek a contract extension with Boston this summer, according to league sources. So they seem on the same page here. If Woj is saying Boston has a huge priority to offer White an extension, and Derrick White is saying, hey, look, I'm seeking that big payday, then I feel like a deal is going to come. Pay the man. Pay the man. He has increased his abilities, his playing style. He's a defensive menace and an offensive god. Derrick White is a phenomenal two-way player. He can score at all three levels. He's the spark you need for the Boston Celtics here. Pay the man. When I say he elevated his play this season, it's an understatement. He proved to be an efficient two-way player and a clutch performer, man. Because let me tell you, Tatum was not my favorite player in the clutch this season. Derrick White has and always will be. You saw it against the Pacers in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, draining that three in the corner in front of the Pacers bench. Come on, man. It's right there. The box score says it all. Let Derrick White retire in Boston. Let him play for the next 4 years on that contract extension. But like I said, it's all about business. Boston has to be careful about tax penalties as well. You're going to have two of the highest paid player in the NBA, possibly on your team, is sending Jayson Tatum, and then you got Derrick White. You already gave Drew Holiday a 4-year contract extension. What about Tingus Pingus? Would he be the next guy up? So there's a lot of moving parts here when it comes to taxes and hitting that luxury tax line and salaries and stuff that I'm not very good at math, so I'm not even going to try and pretend like I know what's going on. They could make a deal towards the end of the 2024-25 season. I just don't like it. I don't like it being pushed out that far. I think Derrick White is a player that I would sign right now, and if it is a huge priority for the Boston Celtics to do so alongside Jayson Tatum, well, it now makes me wonder who's going to get this contract extension first. I think it's going to be Tatum. What do you guys think? Go on ahead and type JT, type DW for your pick. I think Jayson Tatum is probably going to be the first one up here for the contract extension with Derrick White, possibly more towards the end of the summer, but it could also just depend on agents. It could depend on, Brad Stevens and what they want to offer and stuff like that. So comment who you guys want to be up first in the comment section below. As always, hit that sub button for me if you guys have not already. Free agency is looming. Contract extensions are a possibility, and the offseason is here. If you guys want everything and all things on your Boston Celtics, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me, and go Boston Celtics. All right, thank you guys so much for joining us here for the NBA Finals Parade, the Boston Celtics Victory Parade, and going through all those questions and cuts with us. Oh, we really do appreciate it. We'll start going live once a week here in the offseason, but with that being said, the draft is Wednesday and Thursday. We will be live for that, and then free agency.
Duncan has a question for you, too.
Allie, if I tag you in a comment regarding my tattoo poll tweet, will you retweet it so Celtics fans might see it? Yeah, absolutely. Go on ahead and do it, my boy. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great Friday. Have a safe weekend. And as always, go Boston Celtics.